What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another brand new Division 2 video. Today's video is going to be something a little bit different. I just want to talk a little bit about the recent glitches that have been going on in the game, as well as the group scaling changes that they've made into the game as of yesterday, which a lot of people have been talking about. And I just want to give my input on what I think, as well as get some of your guys' inputs on how you guys are feeling, because I do feel like a good amount of the population of the players in this game right now are, for the most part, usually solo players, myself included, and I just want to give my take and get your guys's. So hopefully you guys do enjoy the video. If you guys do, make sure you guys drop a like and a subscribe channel if you guys are new, and yeah, let's get right in the video. So getting right into the video, I want to talk about the glitches that have been going on in the game first, because this is probably the most important thing in the video rather than all of the scaling and stuff. I know that's a pretty big problem as well, but when the damage glitch first came out, you could use it in PvP, I believe. You could get as much damage as you wanted. It was obviously sourced from your specialization weapons, whatever specialization you were using. You would get that damage off of a percentage of that damage every single time you do the glitch. I will go out and say that I did do the glitch, but I didn't use it. So I didn't go in the dark zone. I didn't play any missions or do anything with it. The whole point of me saying that was I just watched the video of people that were doing it in their own videos that they created and uploaded, and I just tried it at a control point just to get an idea of how easy it would be to do. And after watching, I think it was like a 4 or 5 minute video of some random channel that had no subscribers that just uploaded it to the channel. It only took me like 3 to 4 tries, and I got it. It was just a sequence of buttons getting hit in a specific order before you got on the turret, pretty much. I know the first one, like I said before, you could use it in PvP, but as far as I'm aware in the videos that I saw, it would take your damage away in the dark zone, which probably explains why I got one shot the other day when this guy had a build that had nothing really resembling a build at all. It was just a bunch of random gear pieces that had just random talents, and nothing was really collaborated in terms of making a build even be a build, if that makes sense. That was probably about a week and a half ago when it was kind of like a hot take. It still is for sure, but they obviously nerfed the damage glitch, and of course, as soon as they nerfed that, people somehow managed already, I don't know how, already managed to find a talent glitch where you can just stack practically every good talent and make it active at the same time, so that you always have it, so that you just have like an insane amount of damage, like an insane amount of headshot damage, crit, anything you can think of. You can practically make the talent active and get a ton of damage from it. And I just want to give my take on, I guess, like what side I choose. So a lot of people were saying that if you did any of these glitches in general, you should just be banned in some way, and I do agree with that to an extent. I think if you used it in anything PvP oriented at all, that I do think that you should be banned. I couldn't really give you guys a number. I guess like maybe 30 days would be worthy, I guess, especially since it's a looting game. So, and you are kind of exploiting the game with a glitch. I shouldn't say kind of, you are exploiting the game, getting like 2, 3, 4 million damage, one-shotting literally anything. It doesn't matter what it is. So I can see where that's coming from in terms of PvP, because you're going up against players. So if you're using it on players, you're just literally one-shotting them. No matter, they could have 3 million armor, and you're still going to one-tap them because you have, 4 million damage, 5 million damage, however it is people were using. But from the PvE side, especially if you're solo, now if you're in a group and you're using this groups, you are you definitely deserve to be banned if you're using this in groups of 4 or 3. If you're using it in groups at all, you definitely need to be banned, no matter what you're using it for, because that's just insane. That's just unfathomable. You can't even know. But if you're using it solo and you're just a player that's kind of just stuck at this point in the game where you can't really get anything past like hard missions, or you're trying to do a raid or something, then I guess I can see where you're coming from with that, because you are exploiting the game still, but you're not using it to, like break world records or something, or just destroy people in the dark zone and get a crazy amount of stats for the dark zone rankings and stuff like that. So I can see where people are coming from with that, but for me, I don't think it's necessarily a negative or like a cheating aspect from my perspective if you're using it for anything PvE in the game. Next, moving on to the most important thing for me in the video personally, and probably a lot of you guys watching as well, is the scaling changes and the NPC changes that they made for update 8.4. Yeah, that was right. Update 8.4. This affects me personally because obviously I play solo, and I know a lot of you guys probably play solo as well. That's why I'm always asking if you guys are on Xbox One, you guys want to play, because I always need more people to play with, and that way it makes me want to play for longer. So I'll just read off a couple of these notes that I feel are important. So it says reduced all NPC health and armor for group scaling, which means this is for 2 people, 3 people, and 4 people. And it also says enemy health and armor scaling from 2 to 4 player group based on veterancy. So that means anything in the game, so any challenging, hard, anything like that was reduced for people that are in groups, not for people that play solos, just for groups. So just for people played 2 people, 3 people, or 4 people. I would probably say the biggest change is probably 4 people, because 3 is kind of in the middle and 2 is kind of like a little bit lower than 3, and 4 is obviously the hardest, so I can see why they did that, which is super impactful. But for people like me, I practically got no changes in the game. The only change that I got for playing solo was it reduced NPC damage output for all difficulties, and I'm not even 100% sure if that is for solo players. This just says reduced all damage output for difficulties. It doesn't say for all group scaling, it just says all difficulties, so I'm not even 100% sure on that. But the point I'm trying to get at is all of the changes that they made were geared towards people that play in groups, which it helps. Don't get me wrong. This is definitely helpful that they put this high on their list of things that needed to be fixed, along with all of the glitches. The glitches definitely need to be changed. That need to be first priority for sure. I am aware that they are currently working on another update that's supposed to be doing solos, as far as I'm aware, that I saw on Twitter today when I was at work. But I just feel like solo probably should have been a little bit higher on their priority compared to groups, because I would probably say like 75% of the player population on this game, at least in my opinion, probably plays solo. And it just feels like we've gotten nowhere in terms of solo players in this game for PvEing. Don't get me wrong, it's not like I just don't play the game or I have a shit build or I'm bad at the game, because I'm not. It's more or less I have to take my time, I guess you can say, in terms of farming. So for level 4 control points, I can get through them, but if it was for a group for a control point, it would probably take a lot less time than what it takes me, especially since I just run like a raw damage AR build, which probably doesn't necessarily help with that. But the point is that it takes me a long time. Yes, I get practically anything that I want done in terms of farming, whether it's, you know, a level 4 control point, some form of a difficulty on a mission, or anything in the dark zone. I get it done. And moving on to the dark zone, I haven't really had a problem ever in this game in terms of the dark zone where I just get destroyed over and over and over again every single day by people, or by groups of players, other than people killing me from the damage glitch, which is now patched. I never really had a problem with anything, you know, in terms of PvP in the dark zone, getting killed by rogue agents. And if I do, I just accept it and I get off for the day, or I try switching dark zones. And like I said, I can farm dark zone landmarks perfectly fine, especially ones that are on the hard or the normal difficulties. But once I get to heroic difficulties, I don't necessarily just get annihilated and shredded by them. I just have to take a little bit of a slower pace, like a super slow pace, being able to use my skills methodically and being able to shoot the enemies that I want in a specific order. And as far as comparing this to Division 1, I was able to just sort of just run into any landmark I wanted and totally fry any enemies that I wanted, whether or not they were veterans, reds, or elites. And also, adding on to this, it sort of makes it a one build, sort of thing right now for solo players. I saw a couple people, I think I saw Wids talking about it and like Butter talking about it. They said right now really the only viable damage build in the game for solo players, and just players in general that are using them a lot, are the M1A builds, or like really any marksman rifle or single shot rifle in the game right now that just has an insane amount of damage. And pretty much what they're doing is just stacking and putting everything that they have on their build into like headshot damage and crit and just raw weapon damage, all reds, and having practically no armor and no health at all, and just playing like a bitch, honestly, just sitting behind cover like 100 meters away and just slowly pecking at enemies, which, I mean, that's practically what I do, but from a little bit closer range and a lot slower. And I don't know, that's just kind of my take on it. I just feel like the solo players are kind of being left out, but it's not restricting me from farming in any way, at all, for sure. I'm like level 36 Shade Tech, which is like, I guess you can say level 36 legit. I know some people are like 300, 400 because they've been playing a lot, but I don't know. 36 is pretty good for me for the amount of time that I put in personally. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I just want to see what your guys' take is as solo players, if you guys are solo players. If you guys agree with me, or if you guys do not agree with me. Like I said, this is just my opinion, so obviously everyone isn't going to agree with me. Obviously you're not going to agree if you're not a solo player. So, yeah, I guess that's about it. I didn't want to sit here and ramble on for like 20 minutes. I want to have a 10-minute minimum for this video. So yeah, let me know what you guys are thinking in terms of these topics that I talked about today. If you guys agree with me, you guys can drop a like on the video. If you guys do not agree with me, or you guys find something that is negative that I said, or something you just didn't agree with in general, then I would like to know in the comment section below. But other than that, thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you guys are new for more Division content. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.